So the last speakers are Escola da Ponte. So Escola da Ponte is a school situated close to Santo Tirso in the north of Portugal, for those of you who don't know. And it's a concept and idea that was started by José Pacheco, who was a teacher, a former teacher, and previously the director of this school. He felt there was something that was missing in the normal school and that he wanted to start a new concept. So Escola da Ponte calls itself a democratic school. Okay. I had the opportunity to go there and visit last year, me and two colleagues of mine, and I would really recommend you to go there if you want. And they have open tours every year. They have thousands of visitors every year, and you should really go there. It's very interesting. So in representation of the Escola da Ponte, today we have two teachers, Adelina Monteiro and Diana Gonçalves.
It's working now. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess there were some problems here. Boa noite. Good night to you all. Let me start by saying this. To educate is to question. And so what I bring you here to start is a series of questions. Don't worry, it's not a test, okay? I'm not going to test you. But face it like a challenge for you to reflect. Must all students learn at the same time the same thing? Shall schools focus on content and forget student skills? Is there room for students' curiosities, abilities, beyond the curriculum as we know them? Must we teach contents or teach students to look for them, to research contents? And bear in mind this image. What other possibilities are we given to students who refuse to follow the cue? The ones that dare to see beyond his colleague's back. So here are some questions for you to think. And these questions and other more were in the mind of teacher José Pacheco, and also a group of teachers who worked in the late 70s in a very small school in Vila das Aves. And they were not happy with what they were living. They were not happy, they were not accepting the work they were doing there with the students. And so they made a radical change on Portuguese educational system. They believed that the education is not linear. It's not a linear system. We shouldn't face students, as we saw, like they were in factories. They are different, they are unique. So for us, the student is in the center of all the learning process. We have to see them as a unique human being with different abilities, with different backgrounds, and we have to explore those abilities, and we have to have a different attitude towards their learning process. So, we'll play a video, a small video, and now I want you to imagine a school with no classrooms, but shared learning rooms, where students and teachers interact all the time, same schedule. A school where there are no forms or classrooms, as I said, or classes. So, students organize themselves in three main groups. We call them the beginning group, the development group, and the higher development group. Inside each group, students organize in small groups of 3 or 4, and they are from different levels with different ages. And inside those groups, they help each other. in a spirit of true cooperation. The one who can help, the one who needs help. Okay, this is the daily interaction among the group. And also, I want you to imagine a school with no lessons. So, students have a daily plan where they define the daily tasks, what they are going to do from 8:30 to 4. And this daily plan is based on a fortnight plan. So they also define tasks for 15 days. And these tasks regarding the curriculum areas, but not also, are negotiated with the teachers and the tutor too. So they almost manage 100% autonomously their learning process, okay? And they choose what to learn, when to learn, and how to learn, okay? So what you are seeing now are some images of the new school, because we changed recently to new facilities. So you can see from this picture, or this scenery, that student plays an important role in all the learning process. He's in the center. And this is Escola da Ponte that we want to present to you today, okay?
Okay, so going from what Diane just has said, that the student is at the center of the learning process, we need to focus on the learning process itself and come to a concept of learning itself as well. So looking at this image as well, we can see that learning cannot be faced as segmented in different drawers, the maths, the history, the geography drawer, and that we can have room for students' curiosities, students' interests. Picking up the example André presented at the beginning of this meeting, Lietzen and Cardoso probably don't know how important they are for education, but as an interest and a curiosity coming from them, we can build knowledge and learning as well. Of course, this doesn't mean that the curiosities and their interests are at the only thing we can go from to build knowledge, but also the curriculum, the national curriculum, is a reference for us to work with them daily. Another thing is important to make clear is that the student is not a kind of a cupboard, and the teacher is not the supplier who gives the knowledge prepared for the student to receive it. In our school, we instigate, or we try to instigate, the research skills. We have books available, computers, the library, and the student asks the questions, and he's also encouraged to look for the answers for the questions he himself raises. So it is important right now to maybe show you a general perspective of the skills our school tries to develop in the students. And it is also important to say that we are not only talking about the cognitive skills, but also about social skills. And we have here some examples like solving problems, solving conflicts, self-discipline skills, beyond many others that we will talk specifically later on. And we will begin by some of those we found it very, very important, which are self-planning, self-evaluation, with responsibility and autonomy. And Jana said right at the beginning that we don't have lessons in our school, and that the students make a plan, a fortnight plan, and daily plans, and those plans guide all the work during those 15 days. So what I want you to show you now is an example of a fortnight plan made by one of our students. And in this plan, we can see all the tasks the student is accomplishing at the end of the 15 days. And we are talking about tasks related to math, science, English, to the 5 dimensions we have in our school. But also, we are talking about tasks related to the responsibility groups. We will talk later as well.
Projects they are involved in.
Exactly. We are also talking about tasks that are common to the whole school. We are talking about the homeworks in case they have them. And these tasks must be accomplished during the 15 days students have to work on them. And how would they finish them? Or in our school, we don't have the tests, the unique moment for all the students to prove themselves that they know something. Each one of them, when he feels that he is ready to make an evaluation of what he has worked on during those days, they use an educational device called Now I Know. And they ask the teacher a moment of evaluation that can have or assume many different
models of evaluation.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be the written questionnaire, or it doesn't have to be the test. It can be a dialogue. It can be a presentation to the colleagues. They can answer questions too, written questions. So they can negotiate with the teacher different models.
Okay, the most important thing is that the student shows that he really knows what he has studied for those days. At the end of those 15 days, they have an evaluation moment, which is this text you can see on the right, where the student is going to reflect upon what he has done during those days. And this is one of the skills we intend to develop with students, which is metacognition. The student's awareness to point out the positive aspects, the negative aspects, and to reflect upon that and see what he has to change in the next fortnight. Okay? So evaluation appears here as a formative and constructive process. Okay? We found it interesting for us maybe to see some of the some quotes from the evaluation students make at the end of the fortnight. And here are examples. I'll maybe refer to one of them. The first one, where the student says, "I was very happy to give my opinion in the assembly meeting, and my behavior was good." I found it very interesting to put this one, because this is a student who normally doesn't speak in the assembly meetings because he's very shy and he doesn't feel comfortable to do it. So when he managed to surpass that, that thing he had, he found it really important, and he focused that on the evaluation moment. Okay, another thing that he recognizes concerning the learning process is, he continues, "I think I have to be more concentrated and pay more attention during the tasks, talk less with my colleagues, and raise my hand if I want to speak or ask for help. Next fortnight, I will accomplish my daily plans and work harder on the tasks I like less." Okay, this is a student who is always speaking, is very sociable, always speaking, always saying, he always has an opinion with the colleagues. But he recognizes that some of the aspects he needs to better are these that he wrote on his fortnight evaluation. And then we have other examples that I will not read to you, but focus on the group work and the learning process itself. And students point out what they feel they must keep and what they feel they must better.
What it's interesting to notice is that this exercise must be faced as the moment when they reflect to change something. So they know that after those 15 days, there has to be changes. It has to be different behavior, has to be new strategies. They have to change something to improve their learning process. Now, Adelina referred to the value we give to the cognitive skills, to the curriculum, but also and equally the value we give to the social skills, to the skill that the student has to solve conflicts, to solve problems, to participate, to communicate his ideas or her ideas. And also a device we have in our school is the Students' Assembly. Now, this device is very important to promote the skills. But I must also say that these kind of skills, we can't taught them, we can't teach them. They have to be lived, they have to be experienced. So, in the beginning of each year, students organize themselves to make lists, candidate lists to the Students' Assembly. They make a campaign and they vote for the winning list that will represent them, okay, in the Students' Assembly meetings. Now, these meetings take place every Friday, and it is a true moment of discussion, participation, democratic participation, and there students know they have room, they have freedom to express what they feel, try to solve the problems and the matters that concern them during the week, and to feel free to express that. They can also do that by writing that on a device we call "I think it's wrong" or "I think this is right." Now, this is almost like a paper in a wall, okay, where they express something like, "I think it's wrong that Francisco made me stumble at lunchtime." Now, probably you think that, oh, this is so childish, but it's meaningless for them, and it's something that worries them, and it's something that will not be forgotten, because there is a committee, a group of students, we call the helping committee, that will go to that student and to he will call Francisco too, okay? And they will meet to see what happened, to negotiate, and to remind those students that there is a list of rights and duties. Professor Domingos mentioned the rules that a school must have and that also our school has, because students also have a list of rights and duties that they also voted in the assembly, that sometimes they want to discuss, and that should rule their behaviors daily. Now, this is also an experience they live, and that is valued, equally valued, as any exercise they will be doing in the learning rooms, okay?
Okay, so we don't have time. Otherwise, we would focus on the second one that says that teachers are nice and happy. But we don't have time, so we'll skip to another one and talk about the responsibility groups. Just like I've said before, we intend to develop on students a certain feeling of belonging and of implication in school that they face as their own home. So we have different responsibility groups, and we are talking about groups of 10, 12 students that are formed at the beginning of the year, and they define specific tasks to accomplish during the year. And we are talking about taking care of the garden, separating the garbage. We have many others. We are only focusing on some of them.
Taking care of the library books, or making sure that the computers are working okay, everything's okay, it's functioning well, the music is playing in the learning rooms.
Okay, we also have the open house policy.
Yeah.
If you want to visit, the suggestion was already made, that the students themselves present the school for the visitors who want to know it. And better than us, they talk about school and how it functions. So, to close this, and specifically to focus on this skill, it is our aim also to instigate creative thinking by creating a challenging context. And we can do that in many different ways, but we assume that having a context that promotes creativity will create or will develop creative minds. So we can accomplish this through artistic projects, following a project methodology, and also giving room for the students to express themselves, to show their curiosities, to show their interests, and not to give them a form or models, just like the cartoon shows, that will restrain their creativity. We can also have other kind of projects that go from what they would like to learn, and that's what we see in this image. Some examples of what they want to learn: gymnastics, musical instruments, and so on. We also try to develop other kinds of projects that somehow build bridges between how a school and local community, and we have here some examples of that, but also in national extent. And maybe this project, Comenius project, I don't know if you are familiar with it, but it can also make bridges with other countries, in this case from Europe, and in 15 days it will travel to Luxembourg to know the country and the culture and so on. So all of this, the organization and the principles we stand for, are the context we found it interesting to develop creative minds. And our role as educators as well, isn't it to create and recreate education as well? Okay.
For those who are teachers here, please dare. Okay.
Okay.